took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rains, no sleep. Every day I work my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater get up. I'm ready like lift off. I never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live. I don't know what the mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib and getting money, you gotta ask for it. Tired of complaining, I got up and changed my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it. Ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting.
All right, Coach. First opened in 1999. There's a good look at First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
Here we go. Set. Third and base. Let's go.
Now Hernandez on 1st and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. Hernandez throwing on 1st down. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. A good pickup there, a 22. Pretty good start there on plays 1 and 2.
And not discriminating at all, is he? Make sure he's spreading it around on the first 2 throws of the game. 2 different parts of the field as well.
He'll buy some time right, and he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The perennial Pro Bowler Aaron Donald gets the sack.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football. And he's going to go down again.
I always love the opening game of the season, and for the players, always nice to get those firsts out of the way, isn't it? How about here? The first sack of the season. Not just in the first game, but in the opening drive. That's the way to get things kicked off.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Go. Push the elbow. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball.
Throw left side complete. That's Stokes. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, You're exactly right. It'll be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now Balaj. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Hey, come on. Hey, man. Watch the boot. 51 the mark, boy. 51.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's now 2nd and 10.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
I'm here all day.
Milage. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Jackson now. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. To throw again. Hernandez. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun. Hernandez. He's got his tight end, David Njoku.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Looking to throw. Hernandez. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. Here's Hernandez. From the gun, he'll throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's got this down to the 35.
Come on now, let's go.
A gain of 12 yards.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. We're scoreless after 1.
With no score.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Hernandez. Ball play action. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Hernandez now. Going to throw again. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him. Made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Flush, and a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here we go. Here we go. Go to base. Let's go. I got it. 44. Hold on. Check, check. Here we go.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. The Browns drive about to get started. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Now this time he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the way.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the draw, here's Sanders. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Delayed give there out of the gun. Defense was ready.
And I'm not a big fan of a draw play out of the shotgun formation because the quarterback's not having much action where he's getting away from the line of scrimmage. He's catching the football, making a little head fake, and then handing it off. You should be able to read it as they did there.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Go! Let's go!
26-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
2nd and 4 at the 32-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Check, 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 check. Check, check.
Now it's Jackson. This one into the hands of the running back, Melange. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A Miami first down on a 14-yard pickup.
Okay, some people call it the shuffle pass. Some people call it a shovel pass, but this worked really well. And it's hard to do in the NFL because of the big bodies that tend to clog up the middle of the field. But the execution was excellent there, able to get it done and get upfield for big yardage.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at their
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score.
Your trip is here.
A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. It's a big play there for Miami, and even 40 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson, and his throw here is incomplete.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Browns drive about to get started. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now Hernandez operating from the gun. This is caught, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Antonio Callaway 53 yards. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, just string them together. Could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Jackson. His throw incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Watch tight. Tight is right. You got three. Three down.
Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
Now a give, right side. It's Armstrong. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Here we go. Time to end it. We go.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run pass option. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Toss play to Balaj. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. 23 yards for the touchdown as his guys are able to regain the lead. So we just witnessed touchdown number 1 for the Rook, and certainly that's a football he's going to want for the trophy case.
Yeah, this is one that you don't spike, right? This is one you don't throw to your teammate and let them celebrate. This is one you keep for yourself, take it over to the equipment staff and have them mark it up, put it away, and then you get it later on. And as you said, mount it in your trophy case. Fantastic. Hopefully the first of many.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now,
as Sanders has it poked free. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Hernandez to throw again. It's caught by Sanders. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw. Hernandez. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Let's go, let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Jackson now, throwing again. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Barber, and he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. They'll run here with Balaj. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 24-17. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They'll start with a give here to Balaj. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
The stop made by Myles Garrett. 1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think someone's going to get in the QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That would be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. On third down, Jackson. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And now hang on here. The door, can you hear it? It's a little open.
Is that the squeaky hinges that I'm hearing right now? Yeah, the door.
Is that too high pitch?
No, not at all. The door is open a little bit. It's almost like when you told those horror stories on the camping trip, right?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
44, Mike, 44. Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
Now it's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Barber. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here we go.
They run it with Balaj. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that. I
think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker, and he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead is up to 14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. 2nd and 6. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. To throw on 3rd down, Hernandez. And that is incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Looking to throw. Hernandez. And that is incomplete.
Let's go. Let's go now. Pittsburgh. 44. Watch the run. Go. You got motion there. You got motion there right there. 44 smart.
On first down, it's Cox. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
And it's third down.
The Dolphins on third down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. Here it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. They'll roll him out right. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Browns drive about to get started. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held it with 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Hernandez on 1st down. Open man is Kirk, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. To throw is Hernandez. From the gun, he'll throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Hernandez now. Back to the air on 2nd down. Try to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. Antonio Callaway, the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
That's caught by the UCLA product. It's Callum Wilson. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 23.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Come on, set. 10 Tucson. Check 55 to Mike.
Now Hernandez on 1st and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Hernandez operating from the gun. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 4-yard line.
Down, 44, 60 outlaw. Check. Record.
Tonight's final score, Dolphins 34, Browns 17.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in the ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pull out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a